Okay, welcome everybody. Thanks so much to Erica and Evangeline and Jess for hosting us tonight and allowing me to do this here and get you all together here. Tonight we're going to talk about meal prep. Meal prep for the week. We're going to talk about why do we meal prep, how do we meal prep, what do we need when we're meal prepping, what sort of things we should have on our shopping list, how to actually do it in your kitchen at home, what have you got to do it with, what sort of appliances do you have, what methods of cooking do you prefer, and what sort of food we can prep in advance. I'm going to talk about what freezes really well, what foods you can prep and put in the freezer, and what's best that's prepped fresh. Okay, and we're going to just cover some tips at the end, and I've got a little slideshow to show you of what my meal prep looks like at home. Okay, so I'm going to probably throw some questions at you. If you've got anything that you want to ask that's a little bit sort of off topic, just save them to the end and we'll run through any questions then. Okay, so why do we meal prep? Who knows what meal prep is first? Do you know what I'm talking about with meal prep?
Yeah, like when you plan in advance what you're going to eat and set it aside.
And you prepping the food and pre-preparing your meals so that you've got them ready in the fridge or wherever you choose to put them. So why do you think it's a good idea to do it? Anybody got any ideas on why it'd be a good idea to do it?
Saves time.
Saves time, yep. It's easier not to overeat. If your meals are in a portion size, it's easier not to overeat, and it helps you learn portion control. So if you're on a meal plan that's specific to your requirements, whether it be your weight loss or to become healthier, you can learn your portion control. Okay, it also takes the emotion out of eating. Okay, because it's already there. Sometimes, you know how you have a bad day, what do some of us do? We need a treat. Or sometimes you have a good day, and that requires a treat too, okay? It also takes out the, should I have seconds? There's some leftovers, and when you've cooked and you've got a dish of food and it was really good, and you think, oh, I'll just have a little bit more, and then before you know it, you've had a second bowl. So we've all done that, okay?
Guilty.
Okay, and it builds accountability, okay? You prep what you've eaten, there's no waste, okay? So then you're not worrying about, have I wasted that? It's a waste, I better eat it, can't put it in the bin. You know, it eliminates that. Okay, and like Eric said, it saves time. And it saves money. Okay, so when you're doing your meal preps, you always want to be looking at sale food, seasonal vegetables. A lot of people say, oh, I can't eat healthy, it's too expensive. But if you're looking at your seasonal vegetables and fruits, well then it's not expensive if you can shop in the sales. And it helps you win the mental game, that mental game of what to eat. Okay. And for those of us who don't really eat much, there might be a few here, that
would be me.
It also helps you become disciplined because we all need food to survive. Okay? Okay, so what happens when you have a really massive day at work and you're on your way home and there's so much traffic and you're starving because you didn't really take anything for lunch, or the kids are in the back having a little fit, or you know they're hungry, you're picking up kids, and you get home and you've got nothing organised for dinner. What happens? KFC. Split dough pizza.
Ramen.
Takeaways on the way home, or the other one is you get in and you go, I just have a coffee and a couple of biscuits, or hit the snack cupboard, the biscuits, and you sort of go, oh, I'll just have a coffee, I'll just have another biscuit, and now what am I going to cook? And you're looking in the fridge and then you find something else and you have a little pick at that. And before you know it, you really don't actually feel like dinner. You just think, okay, that'll do. Okay, how do we do a meal prep? Okay, first of all, we need to have a healthy eating plan. We need to have either whether it's something that's prepared for you or whether it's something you've chosen to eat, whether you've planned a family menu, or if you're on your own, you're single, you've planned exactly what you're going to eat for the week. And then are you prepping for just tomorrow's food, or are you prepping for 2 or 3 days? Or if you're like me, prep for a week or 2 weeks. Because I'm really busy, and I'll show you how I do that. I'm really busy, and with my work, I don't have time to do a lot of cooking. So on a daily basis, all the patience. So I prep quite far in advance, and you'll see how I do that, just to give you some ideas. But then you need your shopping list of what you're going to prepare. Are you going to do just your breakfast? Are you going to do breakfast, lunch and dinner, which is what I do? Or what are you going to do? Okay, what do we need? For your shopping list, your basic shopping list, ideas for your basic shopping list would be something like, you're looking at the supermarket, you're looking at eggs, lean meat, or chicken, or fish, and you're looking at sale stuff. So when I go into the supermarket, I look at what's on sale. And if you shop that way, it works. Oats, yogurt, fruit, veggies, your herbs and seasonings, and then your carbs, your brown rice, your sweet potato, your couscous. Okay, how do you do it in your kitchen? What appliances do you like to cook with? Have you got a preference? Who likes to oven bake? Prefer oven bake?
I'm in a stove top and microwave.
Yeah,
Everything.
microwave. Yeah, I'm good at that too. And I'm fortunate enough that I've got a Thermomix, so a lot of mine's done in the Thermomix as well. You can steam, you can grill, you can oven bake. There's a lot of things you can do. And then of course it's what foods do you like? What do you prefer to cook? In what way? What foods freeze well? Has anybody tried freezing food?
Yes.
Yeah.
What do you freeze?
Ice cream.
It's a good question.
So if we got leftover dinner, like Jessica, she's prepped herself food, some brown rice and some veggies and meat.
You freeze it as a complete meal?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Because a lot of people are scared to freeze things like rice.
Yeah.
They think it won't be nice.
What?
But it works really well.
With soups, yeah, soups are good.
Soups are good, yeah. So one thing, things that freeze really well are rice, any of the carbohydrates, quinoa, couscous. These are all cooked and then frozen.
Mine was just cooked in the freezer.
Sweet potato.
Really?
I freeze steamed sweet potato.
And
So I sometimes throw it on the bench or just in the
You
microwave.
know what else? It's fresh fruit.
Yes.
Like heaps of fruit or it's about to
Really?
go off, like the mango, chop it all up, chuck it in some snap-lock bags in the freezer, and then you make smoothies.
It's a fantastic idea.
Protein
When
shakes.
you thaw it out, it doesn't taste the same anymore. But
And
if you turn it into a smoothie.
Bananas are fantastic in the freezer.
Yes.
And you whip them in a Ninja Bullet or a Thermomix, something like that, they become like ice cream. They're fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Now I even freeze cooked meat.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Chicken.
yeah, I don't often freeze chicken, I don't know why, I just like it fresh. But I often freeze mince, like what I've done in my mince.
How long does it last for?
Well, I'd probably freeze ahead, say a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So it would probably last 3 to 6 months in the freezer, I reckon, 3 months.
So, is there a difference between, you know how on the door it says how long you can
Yeah.
freeze
Yes.
things for, but is there a difference between cooked
Cooked.
chicken and raw chicken?
I probably wouldn't do, look, personally, that's just a personal thing. I'd have to check on that actual factual answer. But I was going to say a month, absolutely.
For
That,
cooked
yeah. I tend to cook chicken fresh. I don't know, I just like it fresh. So it's just, I cook it and it lasts, I cook like a whole chicken breast and it lasts a couple of days. And fish. I always cook fish just before I eat it, because I usually do it in a pan. But I have frozen cooked salmon.
And how many defrost?
I just popped it in the microwave. Cooked salmon was actually really nice. We went to a restaurant one night and the pieces of salmon were so massive I couldn't eat them, and they said, oh, they offered to pack it for me. I put it in the freezer. It was fantastic. It was really nice. Okay, let's have a look at this little story I've got here. So one thing that's important is what you put your food in. This is just my preferred container, and I like these containers because they're BPA free. Okay, it's really important. I don't heat in a lot of plastic anyway. I tend to take it out of the plastic and heat it in a bowl. But if you're at work, sorry?
If it's frozen in it, like you can't move it.
Well, you could defrost it in the microwave first. But what I'm saying is these containers are microwave safe. BPA. So BPA is your toxic stuff that comes out of plastic. So that's why I prefer these. They're microwavable. They've got the vent on the top, and they come in so many different shapes and forms, as Evangeline mentioned before, and they're safe in the microwave, and that's the most important thing.
They've got some new ones that look like this that you can actually cook in the microwave, and you can cook bacon and
They have bacon ones now.
Yeah.
They have rice cookers.
yes, rice cookers.
I do a lot of my veggies in one of these in the microwave.
How long do they last for?
They do deteriorate.
What?
The containers over time.
Yeah,
they
yeah.
crack, they break.
Oh, okay.
But I've got like a really big collection of them.
Are they cheap?
But I always buy them on special
Yeah.
and have them in Coles for half. So what we've got here is I'm measuring out my rice. These are the little bags that I use. Now these are only, as Evangeline mentioned before, they're only to store, they're not to heat in. So they're frozen, I just push them out. Sometimes I remember I get them out earlier and leave them on the bench, but just push them out and of the bag into a bowl. Okay, so there you can see I've got all my bags of rice. So if I have rice, say 4 times a week, you can see I've got, about 8 or 9 bags there. So that's what I mean by going in advance. And I don't do all of this on one day. That's too much, too big, too long. So when my rice is getting low, I just put the rice cooker on, cook it, bag it, put it in on that day while I'm cooking the family dinner. So this is sweet potato. What I've done is just cubed it and I steam that in the microwave, and I snap lock bag it and put it in the freezer. Makes life really, really easy. Here's my freezer. Yeah, so you can see all the rice along the bottom. I've actually got 2 different types of rice. I've got sticky rice and brown rice. Up the top here,
Maybe.
this is fish that I'll cook. You buy your fish and I freeze it in portion sizes. I'll cook that fresh. Then the next along there, that's kangaroo mince that I've cooked with lots of chili and spices and just snap lock bag. There's your sweet potato along the top, the far end of the screen. And yeah, so that's what my freezer looks like.
You have your
For
own
sweet potato.
fridge. You have your own fridge.
That's in the door of the freezer. Yeah, I take on a whole shelf, and then there's another shelf in the other freezer as well. Sorry, can you?
For sweet potato, this is the orange sweet potato.
Yes.
How about the white one? Is that
Yeah,
one higher?
fine.
It's the same
Yeah,
thing?
same thing.
Okay.
When you're looking at sweet potato and normal potato, the only difference is the portion size, as opposed if you're following something as strict as I am. But if you're just in general healthy eating, doesn't matter. Even normal potato, I eat normal potato as well. A lot of people are scared of things like that, but okay, this is just another shot of the freezer. It's the same thing really. Okay, this is an example of roasting your vegetables. So just on a tray, and you'll see in your little meal packs there I've done the tomatoes. On a tray, a little bit of olive oil, a little bit of salt, thrown some prawns in the middle there, and in the oven, that is divine on top of rice.
All of them.
Great ideas. I've got lots of things like this, and I'll give you some printouts afterwards of ideas, this type of thing. And I can send you video links as well for lots of ideas for these.
I bought some asparagus on sale. It was $1.
Yes.
And I just couldn't resist.
Woolworths yesterday had it for $1.
I know. And I was just wondering that what do I do with this? I don't know how to cook this
You
stuff.
can roast it. You can roast it.
Yeah.
Or you can steam. I steam it in the microwave as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So here's a tray. You've got chicken. That's how I did the chicken tonight in the boxes. I just popped it on a tray on foil and sprinkled spices on it. I actually sprayed it with a little bit of coconut oil. Beetroot at the bottom. Roast beetroot's fantastic.
Oh.
And sweet potato. Roast beetroot is divine.
Wow.
Is this beetroot that you
That's
get like
fresh.
fresh beetroot or canned
Yeah, the
beetroot?
raw beetroot.
Ah, okay.
Raw beetroot. Just cube it and roast it like you roast potatoes. It's
Okay.
really lovely.
Wow. And how long did you cook it?
How long?
So you cook it. Sorry?
2 hours?
No, maybe half an hour. You just have to until it's soft. Depends how big your pieces are. Just
So the
until it's
chicken
soft.
and the veggies wouldn't be in the
So
same time?
what I would do with that, I'm coming up to that. You actually stagger how you put it in. So if you put your your slow cooking veggies in first. You put in your potatoes, your sweet potato, carrots. If you're going to do a big tray, because sometimes I do a tray. Going back to that one there. Okay, so we've got. I'm showing it all in the oven there at once, but I would probably put the bottom tray in first, and it's probably I may have slightly cooked it,
Yeah.
and then add the chicken in a bit later on. So that's what I do. I put in the fast cooking vegetables. Even on the tray that we saw back a couple of slides with tomatoes, I put the tomatoes in at the end kind of thing sometimes. I stagger them on what cooks fast, what cooks slow. Asparagus cooks slow, fast.
Tomatoes as well.
Tomatoes, capsicum, zucchini. Have you ever roasted cauliflower or Brussels sprouts?
Yeah.
I mean broccoli.
Not roasted.
Broccoli, yeah.
Broccoli and cauliflower roasted is divine. It changes the flavour. It becomes quite nutty.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. I really love it. Okay. Now I'm going to show you how I make the bean dish that's in your meal packs tonight. So what I do with it is in a pan with a little bit of olive oil. I used garlic, ginger and onion. And I just sweat it, like put the lid on and sweat it. Now, I went to Coles the other night and there were no beans. And I'm really obsessed with green beans at the moment. So this is a really good option. Now that's a kilo of green beans. They're cut for you. I actually really liked it because I didn't have to stand there. I hate cutting up those beans. And they're snap frozen. That's what you've got in your meal pack tonight, the Coles beans. And it was just so easy and quick. Just a good option if your favourite vegetables. Okay, so here we are, it's in the pan. I've put the onion, garlic and ginger in, let it sweat for a little bit, and then throw your beans in. That's a little bit pixelated, but it is really yum. Tonight I've been really minimal on the ginger because a lot of people don't like it. You probably won't even be able to taste it. It'll just give it a bit of a bite, but you won't taste ginger on the beans. But just, it's actually my own little twist on, it's a Lebanese dish that they use tomatoes in. But I just did it, I do it like this and I really love it. I'm obsessed with it. Okay, kale. You've got a little bit of kale in your meat, in your meal pack there. And I just do it in coconut oil. When you're using coconut oil, we always look for the virgin, unrefined coconut oil. You probably already know that. Yeah, and I just saute it in a little bit of coconut oil.
Is there a difference between virgin and other types?
Yes, it's the process, the chemical processing.
Okay.
Yeah. And I was going to say, kale's also nice in the oven, roasted. But I just tend to like it like that. I like it a bit soft. Okay, so this is what a meal prep on a Sunday afternoon looks like for me. So I've done the beans, broccoli, I've just steamed in the microwave. I've actually got spinach there and kale. And this all goes in my fridge. These containers are sort of this big. So that's 2 or 3 days. Well, it used to be 2 or 3 days, but now that Tony eats it as well, it can go very, very quickly. And I don't care because I want him to eat it. Okay, so I'm just steaming the broccoli. That's your steamer container. I just steam in the microwave. So easy. I do a lot of veggies like that. So easy, so quick.
How many minutes you put in the microwave?
You have to work out what you like. So I like mine quite crunchy. So for a full bowl, that's a bowl about that big, for one head, I'll probably do 3 minutes.
Ah, yeah.
because we like it a bit crunchy. If you like it more, you just have to play with it. So if you do a couple of minutes and then
It
see.
depends on the microwave as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yes,
But it
does.
will not kill, it will not, it will not destroy the vitamins. If it is overcooked.
If you're overcooked,
If it is overcooked,
that's
yeah.
why I do it crunchy. And I only put a tiny bit of water in the bottom to steam
I
it.
leave that
Okay,
out
it is
for steam.
really, it's optimal to do it on the oven. But we're talking quick on the stovetop, steaming with water. Sometimes that isn't always possible. I'm giving quicker options here. We're all busy, and sometimes we just don't have time for that. Sometimes I do steam on my Thermomix. I just fill it up. But this is just showing you a quick way, easy way. Some people aren't fans of microwave, so there we've got, that's the afternoon's prep. I've done the beans, broccoli, spinach, kale. Obviously I like green. Okay, cauliflower is my other favourite. So I've steamed the cauliflower in that container. I'm throwing in a little bit of coconut oil. Just heat the pan up. I actually use such a tiny bit of coconut oil just to smear the pan. And then I put Moroccan spice on it. Oh, it is yum, spicy and yummy. And the Moroccan spice I buy is from Woolworths, and it's in the red Hoyt. It's Hoyt's, Hoyts.
Okay, yeah.
That's just my favourite. That's what I like, the Moroccan spice. Even though peri peri is actually my favourite spice. Okay, so there's your sweet potato, just steamed in the microwave. That's the also the cauliflower. Yeah. And I will bag them. So I'll weigh out my sweet potato, cook it, and then bag it. Just got a couple of bowls there that I would separate and bag. Okay, this is breakfast. These are my breakfast pancakes.
Pancakes.
So that was just a pan I bought at Aldi. It was awesome. It was $10. I was lucky to find that. I'll grab more if I ever saw them. And I do oats. I've got a pancake recipe for you that's with oats. Oats. I do it very simple. I do oats, eggs, baking powder and cinnamon. That's what I do. And it comes out, I really like it, but you can also use a little bit of milk, eggs, but the oats become your flour. So it's like, if you don't like oats in a bowl, if you don't like eating porridge, it's another way to do your oats.
And how many do you have?
Okay, I'll show you a picture. See, that's, I'm just laying them on the rack, that's how they come out. It depends on the weight of the oats or the amount of oats I'm cooking, whether it's half a cup, or I go by grams. Which, that was what I was going to talk to you about before when I was looking about further scales. If you measure half a cup of oats, everybody's half a cup or what cup they use can be quite different. So half a cup of oats in somebody's house might be 3/4 of a cup in somebody else's. So if you're trying to, for example, reduce your weight and you have that extra 1/4 of a cup of oats every morning, that's going to slow the process down. So I weigh my oats because my half a cup might be 30 grams and somebody else's house it might be 45. This is just the way I do it. So this is 40 grams of oats. I've written 40 on there 3 times because sometimes it comes off in the freezer. I freeze these. So I've got what, 3, 6, 9, 10 days worth there. 10? 9. So that goes in the freezer and every morning I just pull it out and sometimes I pull it out the night before and defrost it. That's my kangaroo mints on the side which I've bagged. So now I know that that's a 50 gram serve of oats, that's a 40 gram serve of oats. And they go in the freezer too. And that's how it looks in the morning. I have it with strawberries, a little smear of a sugar-free chocolate sauce. And that is my favourite breakfast, and when I'm finished it, I want it again, every day. Every day I say, maybe I'll have breakfast with another meal too.
So you will not eat any more lunch because it's many.
That's just breakfast. Okay, this is a day of going out. Now you've all seen me go out like this.
Yes.
So I've got sweet potato, cauliflower, and I'll prep this all the night before I go to work. This will be all cooked, that's fresh. Got my can of tuna and my rice cakes. So that's one meal, that's another meal, and I've already had breakfast, Evangeline. That's
Ah.
morning tea,
Yeah.
and that's lunch.
Yeah.
So my food is very easy. Like I can just grab it. That will all be in the fridge. Just throw it in a box the night before I go to work. Chop up your fresh veggies, rice cakes, and a tuna off I go to work. So quick, it doesn't take me any excessive amount of time because it's all ready. That's the beauty of meal prep. Just pop that in there because that's a really beautiful oat. It's newish, ancient grains. They're fantastic. You don't like it?
But it depends how you cook it.
Have you tried it? You don't like it? It's all individual taste. See, I'm not a huge fan of a bowl of oats. I'm sick of it, but I could eat pancakes 3 or 4 times a day.
Yeah,
I'm
your
obsessed with
pancakes.
those pancakes.
Yeah.
Caryl, how many minutes in the microwave that one? In
It
the
will be
bowl?
on the instructions.
Ah.
That one, yeah, on the side panel. I can't remember,
Yeah.
but on the side panel it will tell you for what portion, how many minutes.
Is it like porridge?
It's porridge, but it's ancient grains, so it's got
Oh,
all the grains in it. It's got whole grains, rye, puff millet, and quinoa. It's really yum.
I guess you must know how to cook it. Maybe I just cooked it the normal.
Maybe, what was it? Was it too hard?
It was just different.
Yeah, it might have needed a bit more water or something. Okay, that's the meal that was in the box.
Oh, okay.
Just another example.
Gorgeous avocados.
So I have pulled this out of my freezer. I've pulled the rice out of the freezer, thrown some fresh spinach leaves in, and the beans.
Can
my
you
favourite beans.
Can you send us this presentation when you're done?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm like taking
Yeah, I want to, yeah.
I know, I'm like, what? That's good ideas.
just taking photos with the whole.
So they've had like quite a few ideas of things you can do. We've been through. What have we been through tonight? Anybody got anything? What's jumping out at you something that jumped out at you tonight?
Different ways to freeze things.
Yeah.
Different ways to freeze things.
Yeah.
We've been through.
And then the reasons for meal prep, as in what's jumped out at me is that taking the emotion out of eating by just prepping your food,
Yeah.
and then you're not
You're not.
falling for all those things,
Yeah,
all the triggers
that's what
there.
stood out to me
Yeah,
actually,
yeah.
because I'm guilty of eating bad food. And like you said, if it's already prepared.
If it's in prepared and it's in a box, so you can see what's in here. If this is ready in the fridge for lunch and you don't have to think about it,
Yeah.
you're not going to look for other things, especially if you don't have it in the house. So here, you've got your rice in the bottom, chicken, beans, I've roasted some tomatoes, kale and some roast capsicum.
What kind of beans do you usually do?
That was I like my
the
favourite is
green
green
beans, okay.
beans, but when I went to get the green beans this week, it was actually 2 weeks ago, there were none there.
Yeah.
So I just thought, I'll go have a look in the freezer.
What about,
Found
like-
a kilo of snap frozen green beans for $2. So $2. And that pan that I made was a massive big wok.
Yeah.
So a kilo of beans, and that lasts in my fridge maybe 2 days. So a little
What about
bit.
the other type of beans, like garbanzo beans or black-eyed beans, or I don't
Yeah,
know,
you can
just
cook them. I do.
oh,
the
like how
black-eyed beans.
often or not, or rarely, I should say.
Yeah, they are very different. They're more of a carb.
Ah.
This is your fibrous greens, fibrous vegetables.
Oh,
Whereas your black-eyed beans, they're a carb.
I didn't
And
know.
any of your dried beans are more of a carb. And that's okay. You could replace that for some of your rice, or mix it in with your rice. So we've been through how to do it, why we do it, what freezes well, what we cook fresh. There's lots of other little tips and ideas. You can pre-boil eggs in the fridge. You can pre-chop your veggies. Roasting your veggies we talked about. Weighing things. Just be really aware of portions. So the way I weigh my peanut butter out, for example, is I pop it on the jar on the scale. If you're having a tablespoon of peanut butter can be anything from 15 grams to 50 grams if you just scoop it out. And then what you want to do normally is when you've got it out, you want to, let the spoon or whatever. If you put your jar on the scales, if you're following something, this is if you're following something this specific. If you're not, it doesn't matter, but put your jar on the scales, take out the peanut butter until the scale shows you it's minus 20 grams. You can have everything on a little less spoon. So that's the way I always measure food, that way. So we've been through all those things. Hope you've got some ideas from that tonight. As time goes on, two very shortly we're going to be starting the meal planning, and we can talk about that another time anyway. The actual individual meal plans that was based on your body weight, your nutritional requirements and your desires, like whether it's weight loss, weight gain, becoming healthy, etc. So thank you so much for your time tonight.
How many eggs in a